Oh, that's Matthew again. Hi, everybody. Watching the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you end, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share. All that's good stuff. Let's change the logo. There we go. It's another Iron supporting Foodbank. I've got my hoodie. There we go. Got my hoodie. It fits. Well, it fits here. I hope you're all safe and well. Another Iron supporting Foodbanks game show. We haven't done one for a while actually, but obviously with the fact that we're not playing any games during the Christmas sort of period, there's an opportunity for John Ratomski and all his great bunch of volunteers to do the old bucket shaking at the games. And actually, the Foodbanks is probably most needed now because you'll have Christmas, you'll have the kids breaking up for the Christmas holidays and things like that. So that's why we're doing it, to sort of raise awareness for the Foodbanks. Also, there's a Just Giving link there. It's also in the chat as well. Anything you can give, I appreciate. Times are hard, cost of living, all that stuff. But I promise you, there's a lot of people worse off than you, and they'll be using the Foodbanks and stuff very, very shortly. So we were going to do the draw for the Lucas Fabianski match-worn signed shirt today, but someone messaged me and said they don't get paid till tomorrow. So actually, we're going to extend it to the end of the weekend, and we'll do a live and we'll do a draw at the end of the weekend. So you've got until the end of the weekend, until Sunday night, to donate. Anything of £10 or more, you get entered into the draw. So if you're a tenner, you get one entry, 20 quid, 2 entries, 50, 5 entries, that type of thing. Moyes out. This is a Moyes out. This is a Moyes out free zone today. London's going to get into you, Rich. Hope you're well. Anyway, so we're going to do a game show. Good fun. We get two contestants. We've raised the bar today. We've gone. We haven't had any for ages, so we've gone big. Go big or go home. So we've got. Well, he loves quizzes more than me. He's the only person I know who loves a quiz show more than me. Mr. Archer, how are we?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. How are you? Thank you so much for inviting me back on.
Well, you sort of invited yourself, to be honest, because when we saw at Ian's E13 fantastic event the other night, we saw each other and we said we haven't had another game show for ages. Let's do one. So I thought, hey, that's it. 2 and 2 together. The stars align. It's all good. Yeah,
it's good. As I said, mate, I've always enjoyed coming on and doing your quizzes. So I'm looking forward to it, mate. Indeed.
Enjoying the World Cup?
Yeah, I am. Do you know what? I'm quite lucky this year because at work we've got a telly in our office, so we've been watching all the games.
Yeah.
So I'm actually getting paid to watch football. So I feel like a proper pundit. I'm actually getting paid to watch football. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying it.
Love it.
England, but as long as England done well opening game, looking forward to the game tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. USA. I've heard the chant. I saw someone on Twitter. It's like, it's called soccer. That was their chant.
Terrible, mate.
Although I remember having a PE teacher at school, and he was a big northern bloke, and he was like, if it's all right for Pele, it's all right for us. We call it soccer. I was like, okay, fair enough. And so we've got, obviously, there's one contestant. We've got another contestant. We've got a man who's been very busy in the last 32 minutes with the breaking news that Kurt Zouma has had knee surgery. It's Exwhuemployee. How you doing, X?
I was doing all right until that news came out. Having a bit of a break from West Ham. But yeah, as you know, you can't have a break from West Ham. It's always lurking around the corner somewhere. So yeah,
it's always lurking. You enjoying the World Cup, X?
Yeah, and a bit like Ryan, I've been able to watch quite a lot of the games, so it's good to be able to watch football on a regular basis. Don't think the games have been quite as spectacular as I hoped they would be just yet, but yeah, we'll get into the swing of it soon, I'm sure.
We are, and you've got it. And what I like is pretty much, bar a few games at the moment, everything's had some sort of West Ham flavour to it. Even if it was like Ghana, where you had Andre Ayew up front, or there's always some sort of West Ham sort of contingent in most of the games. I'm loving it. It's very, very good. Rigobert Song, the Cameroon international manager. Exactly. God bless him. God bless Rigobert. Right. Okay. So we're gonna give this a go. So we're gonna do blockbusters. So it's for anyone who's probably under the age of 30, 50, 40, I suppose it's Challenge TV. Basically, it's very, very simple. Let me bring up So we've got it's a bit like Connect 4, really, sort of, but not really. It's like left to right, up and down. So one team we'll have Ryan is red because he's R. That's the only thing I can think about it. And X will be blue because he'll be blue in the face, writing all about his tweets about Kurt Zuma. So that's what we'll do. And basically what happens is, Ryan can start. He'll basically select any letter on the board. Then it's a question. The first person to get the answer, whether it's Ryan or X, wins the square. And basically, you have to complete a line. So Ryan has to go from top to bottom in one continuous line, or X needs to go left to right in one continuous line. Simple. It's simple. We've got a couple of rounds. We'll see how we get on. Okay, so Ryan, you can pick what letter you want to go first.
So I have to go from bottom to top, yeah?
I don't think you have. No, you don't. It's up to you. Fuck it. I don't care. We're going rogue. You pick whatever letter you want.
Well, how do you buzz in, mate?
Just shout the answer, and I'll be there. I'm the judge. I'm the judge and jury.
Got it.
Right. I'll have an R, please.
An R. Okay, right. Let me just press this first to make sure. I just want to check I'm pressed the right button.
Let's play.
Right. Sorry, I've got this really annoying thing going, so give me 2 seconds. There we go. Right, that's better. Okay, R, here we go. What R did we sign from Tottenham in 2004 before releasing at the end of the same season? So it's a player and it's a surname. Go on, X. Sergei Rebrov. Is it Sergei Rebrov? Ta-da! See? Ryan's shaking his head already. This is a bad idea.
Yeah, I have to be fair.
Okay, let me mute this, and then we're let me mute that. There we go, it's better. Okay, so X wins that square. Okay, so when I press there we go. X wins the square. Okay, X, you get to pick the next letter.
Okay, let's go T then.
A T. What T was a Spanish international who we signed on a free transfer? Oh, this is going to be over in about 20 minutes, right? Diego Tristan. Because such an evil laugh. Such an evil laugh. Diego Tristan. Okay.
X is answering them before they even come up on my screen.
Oh, dear. Right. Okay, come on, X.
O.
Right.
O. Okay, ready? Pay attention, right, okay? Okay, ready? What O did we sign Joe Beecham from? Oh. This will be over in 20 minutes.
Are we shouting our names or the answer?
No, just shout the answer, right? Okay, it's all right. Don't worry. We've got 2 more rounds after this. It's okay. Don't worry. Right.
X then.
X for X. Okay, we ready, Ryan? Okay. Okay, here we go. What X is the name of the former hammer we bought from Vittoria in 2018 and signed to Nottingham and sold? Xander Silva. Bloody hell, X.
Sorry.
I'm going to mute X for the next round. There we go. Make it interesting. Right, okay. Okay, so I imagine you want to go for a K then, X?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, right, okay. Here we go. What K is a former West Ham player? Do you know what? I'm going to give that one to Ryan. I'm sorry, X. We're going to give that to Ryan. It was just before.
Delay, lag.
The lag. It was a lag in the delay. So Ryan gets a letter.
Do you know what the mad thing is? I was watching an interview he done on the on Sky Sports.
Sky Sports, yeah, he was on Sky Sports, wasn't he, today, rather. Right, go on, M. Go on, M, Ryan. M. Oh, you see, I haven't gone for anything. It's all right. Tactics, okay, M. Okay, M. Ready? Here we go.
Mackay.
What M is? Oh, too quick.
Reading them so quick.
I have no idea.
I knew the questions before they were coming up. People doubt my
to be fair, yeah, we can't see X, so I'm sure he's got the questions in front of him. I want a good inquiry.
I've got sources everywhere. I've been tapping up Russell's family all week.
I've got sources everywhere. Oh, right, so X wins the first round, all right? Let's put a bit of music on. Oh, no, I'll mute it. I'll mute it instead. Right, okay, so let's go with the next round then. Oh, come on, next round. There we go. Okay, right. Right, sorry, I've put this stupid sound on there, and it's too bloody loud. Right, okay, so we'll let Riot can pick. You can pick, mate. Go on then, what are you going to go for, Ryan? Same again, red, you're red, and X is blue.
I'll have a chance, please, Ross. Is this like Who Wants to Be in there? Is there an option to mute X for like 10 minutes?
Just give it a go, yeah.
Right, let's start at the top. I'll have an F.
An F, yeah?
Yes, please, Ross.
F for Freddy. Okay, there we go. Let's ready. I'm going to click the button. Go.
Neil Finn.
Oh, it was. No, Ryan was first.
Not my
just first. Because you went Neil Finn and Ryan went Finn. So it's the surnames. I'll give him that.
F. You said F. Let's go by the surname.
Good man. It's F, isn't it? F. Come on in, Ryan.
Right, let's have a U.
A U. Okay, let's go for U. Okay, ready? Last person to wear the number 6 shirt. Oh, well, wow, very good.
That was me.
Matt Upson. Yeah, is that up? Really? I think on the first one I did the first. We've only played. Okay, here's a good question. It's nothing to do with this one. We've only played one team in our history who begins with the letter U. Did you know that? No. I'll leave that. Anyone in the chat gets it. 50 house points to Gryffindor if you get it. It was in the late 1890s. It's the only team we've played that begins with letter U. There we go.
You got too much time on your hands, mate.
I do have. I have far too much time on my hands. Right, come on, right, we're doing.
R wasn't good to me last time, so I'll have a W, please, Ross.
He gave a W. Okay, here we go. A W. What was the club's record top goal scorer? Watson. He's got it. X has got it. X got it.
I think I got the last one as
Vic
well.
Watson. Yeah, Vic Watson. Vic Watson. Go with it.
Thank you for him at the club.
Should do.
More, definitely.
They should do, definitely. I think there's. I mean, was it? Is it Newcastle? It's Arsenal have got the statues, haven't they, of the various?
Yeah.
We should do something like that.
Again.
No, it won't have 326 goals. It's like it's ridiculous. You're never gonna. I mean, even it's a ridiculous number. Right, come on, X.
Let's go. I
Savaloy. Here we go. What I do we sign from QPR? Oh, X was just in. I'm trying to be fair to everybody. Andy Impey. God dear. Made a profit though. £400,000 profit.
Yeah. Didn't we have to send him to balance the books?
I don't know. X would know.
Oh, well,
I wasn't in the know back in those days.
No, you weren't in the. you weren't in the know. Ian, it's not Udinese. It isn't Udinese. So there we go. If you get it, well done. What are we going to do, X?
Let's go for a T.
T for Tommy. Right. Let's go. Oh, we press the right button. Midfielder we signed from Metz in 1997. Only made one sub appearance. He's got it. David Terrier.
I couldn't think of his name. I remember him. I could see his face.
Yeah.
I thought in that one game he played.
Yeah, he came on as a sub. Yeah, it was a very, very stocky player, weren't he, Terrier? I love those players who played like one game. As I said to Ryan, we had Matt Kilgannon on yesterday, X, and he was brilliant. Oh, such a lovely man. David
Terrier is what we call a Harry Redknapp special.
Yeah. Well, that was what was going through my head. I was thinking, was it him? Was it Courtois? Who was another Redknapp special, I think? Or was he Roda? He was definitely one of those random French.
Yeah, Laurent Courtois. Keep an eye on the channel X. Laurent's coming on soon.
Oh, is he? Brilliant.
It's brilliant. He's a coach at Columbus Crew now, or something like that, in the MLS. I love all those. I love this randomness. Right, okay, what we do next?
I'm not quite sure where my line is going here, but does P complete the line or not?
No, you got an R and an A to really complete your line.
Okay.
Ryan Archer.
Ryan
A
Archer?
little bit, yeah. And I'm
Written in the stars.
Because if I muck that up. Right,
Yeah.
let's go R then.
Okay, right, ready? Come on, Ryan's on. Right, let's go. What R do we sign on? Mark Reaper. Is it Mark Reaper? That's fucking quick if it was.
Mate, it's definitely Mark Reaper. I didn't even. I got to what R before he even answered.
X is like he's got to read all the sources really quickly, doesn't he? So he's got to read his text. So he's a super speeder reader.
Selective reading. I read R and I read Bromby. That was the
And just guessed him about the dates. Fuck it.
With Mark Noble's autobiography, Why the Kettle Boiled.
You can see why my missus is always disappointed with me. Finish things.
Fair play. Oh dear, you've been called a lot worse, I imagine, X, so don't worry about that, man. Right. Right, so we've got Ryan, we've got the R, so you're going to go for the A then?
Might as well, yeah.
Might as well. Okay, here we go. There we go.
Do
Almunia.
you know what? I couldn't think of his name. I couldn't get his name now. Almunia, yeah.
Manuel Almunia, hey, what a player he was. I think he only five appearances, something like that. So right, okay, so it's 2-0. Don't worry, it's 2-0. But we're gonna play one more game. So don't worry, we're gonna play one more game, and we're gonna get, come on, Brian, we can do this, right?
There's no winners, mate. The Foodbanks are the winners here tonight, mate.
You're very true. I'm just gonna change.
We're loser.
Yeah, there's no losers in this game. The one winner is the Foodbanks, and there is a link down there. So if you can donate anything, guys, to the Foodbanks, be very, very well appreciated. Let me just get this all ready for the second lot. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen tomorrow, England? What are we thinking?
I fancy us. I fancy 3-1 tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think we've done well the other day.
So
I don't know who he's going to start. I've got a feeling that he might drop Mason Mount and maybe start Foden, but keep the same team as the other day.
Yeah. I think it'll be good to see Foden play. Obviously, Kane's he's been declared fit, hasn't he? So
yesterday I was praying for Kane's ankle. Now I'll be going out there crying and praying for Kurt Zuma's knee.
It's funny how life changes so quickly in 24 hours, isn't it? Absolutely mental. Oh dear, but yeah, I mean, we got a win in it. I mean, I just want you need to, a win tomorrow, and then you've qualified for the group, then haven't you? Really, you've qualified for the group.
I think it's good that Wales play before us, because if they get a win, we know that we've got to up it. But if they get a draw, I think if we win tomorrow, I think tomorrow's going to be our toughest test. I want to go into that because Wales want to beat us so bad.
Yeah.
So bad they want to beat us. But no, I think we'll be all right. I fancy us.
It's like the Scotland game at the Euros, weren't it? Where it's like they just up their game so much. Although I thought USA looked really quite tidy. I thought when you go for the team, they've got some really good players. Obviously McKennie, who we were linked with from Juventus. You got Sergio Brest, the right back, and some really good. I thought Canada yesterday were all right as well. They've got some good players as well, but they were quite really unlucky not to get anything against Belgium. Belgium. Who have you got? Have you got a sweepstake at work?
Do you know what the funny thing we have, right? But everyone's been waiting for payday tomorrow. We're actually doing the sweepstake tomorrow, and I'm like, what's the point of that? If I draw someone out now that I've seen play rubbish, I'm going to be like, but I said what they should do is everyone pays their $5, and then at the end of the tournament, then you draw the team out.
Oh,
the team out like that. I'd love that.
But then the first will draw out the winner, and then everyone has that. Fucking pointless, isn't it? Well done, Andy, top man. No, I know what you mean. I've got we do 2 each. I mean, I think it must have been only 16 people, and I've got Belgium and England. So there we go. Yeah,
Not bad, mate. You got the winners there.
not bad. And then also the guy next to me pulled out Saudi Arabia and Iran, and everyone laughed. And Saudi Arabia.
That's it. Saudi Arabia and Japan don't look so rubbish now, do they?
Don't look so right. I mean, Japan, obviously, Ito. I mean, we all know about Ito from last season in the Europa League. You know, he was the shining light for Genk, wasn't he? Really, I thought he was a fantastic player. So
let's be honest. Like, there's 3 of us here that love West Ham to bits. How happy was you to see Scaloni with a sad face after Argentina lost?
oh, I had to put on Twitter straight away, Scaloni out, just because it was just like people went, oh, you know, he used to play for us. Yeah, I'm fully aware. I think it was someone like Baz or someone that told me a story once where they were at that game, like we all were, you know, at Cardiff, and he had the cardboard cutout of the FA Cup, and we were winning, and he's got his pitch, and he's like, and just behind him you can see Steven Gerrard just lining up the shot. Or something like that. It's like, oh, it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Still think of that. And even if he talks to Conch about, you know, that game, he'll still like be like this. It still hurts.
Yeah, but every time he talk about Jimmy Walker, he just told me how he would tip that round the post.
But didn't he save a penalty once?
Yeah,
I think so. He mentioned it once. Once to me. I think it was. It was
I'll have to ask X because he's the man. No, but I did hear a few rumours that he saved the penalty at Stamford Bridge one.
Yeah, it was.
I can't remember exactly what happened, but you have to ask him. He doesn't like talking about
it. You're very right. He doesn't like talking about it. There was a dark wind over the shed end. Absolutely brilliant. I love it so much. Right. Okay. This one's for fun. Right. Go on, Ryan. You can pick one. Go on in.
I'll have an S, please, Ross.
S. Okay. Ready. Let's go. If I press the right button, there we go.
Sheringham.
Yes. Well done, Teddy. 40 years old. I know. I suppose I could, if I get a run out, I'll take over. Be all right. Teddy. Come on in, Rye. What are we gonna do?
I'll have a G, please.
G.
Got it.
Gabadon.
Is it Danny Gabadon?
It is Danny Gabadon.
Good old Danny Gabadon. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of them. When I was doing the questions, there's a lot of players who we sign and they end up winning Hammer of the Year that season. They make such an impact. You know, look at someone like Schemmel. You know, he was on loan, weren't he? And then won Hammer of the Year that year, and then signed him, and then he turned out shit. His own words. When was it Trevor Sinclair cut his hair at a Christmas party or something like that? I think it was like Samson Delilah. I was the wrong way. Sorry, I should have been X. Sorry, X. You carry on, man. It's to X. That's meant to be blue.
So that is blue.
Red, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll go with a. Let's go with a U.
A U, okay, a U.
Unsworth.
Oh, I just literally put a picture up of him. There we go. Defender again, signed, made a profit, flipped him 1 million, and then went for 3 million to Villa, and then went back, and then came back. Good old David Unsworth, yeah. Not many players we've signed that begin with the letter U. I think I've almost exhausted the list with Upson and Unsworth, I think. Right, coming in X.
Let's go for P.
P. Can I have a P, please, Russ?
P, please, Russ.
There we go. You got to do it. Got to be done. Right, P. Here we go. So players beginning with surnames with P. P, do we sign on loan from Sport? Oh. Is it Hugo Porfirio? It was. First time we saw snow, wasn't it? Exeter, the Wrexham game rather, the FA Cup. Bless him. Good player, wasn't he? He was a good player. You go,
I loved him. I wish we'd signed him. He was really really skillful, I thought.
Really good player. Really good player. Yeah, did we sign Darney before him or after him? Before, wasn't it? Yeah, because Darney was the first Portuguese player, and then he was the second Portuguese player to play.
When he the one that Les Seeley said, "Lock up your daughters."
That was Harry. Harry said he didn't know whether to play him or fuck him. And then you had the whole thing with Ian Dowie, weren't it? Where he was like Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. Oh, bless. Oh. Do you know he went completely off? Danny went completely off the radar. So I did a little I like to try and find players where they've gone, and then he appeared on the Portuguese version of Dancing. Was it Strictly Come Dancing as the host? So he was like as the host. Yeah. Love it. Well, the best one was Margas, because when Margas jumped out the thing and then went off to went back to Chile, and then he sort of went back in Chile. He became a bit of a philanthropist, and would buy Harrier jets and convert them into boudoir hotels, and he'd buy I think he once bought something like an auction £10 million worth of jeans or something like that, just random. And then he went on the Chilean version of Survivor or something like that. Just so random. It's just that whole Redknapp era. It was just literally it was so many players around that time were just absolute nutters. Love it, absolutely love it. Right, okay, come on, X, what are we going for?
Let's go for a B.
A B. B for Budden. That's not the answer. Let's go. What we got?
Berkovic.
Is it Eyal Berkovic? Right, just. Another good player. What a good player he was, Eyal. One of those players is
I thought we signed him from Southampton.
No, he was on loan to Southampton first, but he was Maccabi Haifa's player. But he was what a player.
Tottenham to sign for us. That's what makes it so special, doesn't it? And then he scored. Yeah. Was it his second game for us? He scored against Spurs for us.
Fantastic player, wasn't he? But he's one of those players who you've got when you see, if we talk about, we spoke about Conch, or we speak about, or Ginge or something like that, or Danny Gabardon, and you sort of, you recognise them. But Eyal doesn't look anything like the way when he was playing. He's completely different. He looks completely a bit like Alan Devonshire. Very different from how.
He made my Hammers 11 one of the best I've ever seen play for West Ham.
Yeah. How many goals? I mean, Hearts, was it 26 goals that season, and 20 of them were through balls from bloody Eyal, wasn't it? Really, them two was on fire, absolutely on fire. Right, come on, X. What are we doing?
Let's go for J.
J. Trying to think what the question is. I can't remember. Anyway, we'll find out.
Jääskeläinen.
Is it UC Jääskeläinen? Another one. Signed him in the summer. He became Hammer of the Year runner-up in 2013. He did a job, didn't he? UC Jääskeläinen.
Yeah, in that sort of thoughts about.
No.
It was good, but unless it went top corner, he just never moved. He used to watch it go in.
I just thought he was a very untidy player, wasn't he? He always had his shirt was always out of his shorts. He always wore almost an oversized goalkeeper's top, did he? But yeah, I mean, he never really gets spoken about in terms of good goalkeepers, and we've always had good goalkeepers, I think, at West Ham, and apart from Roberto, but but I think Jääskeläinen was one of those guys who came in, steadied the ship, and particularly in that sort of championship era.
I've seen him before one of the Europa League home games last season. He must have been doing commentary or something there, and he walked past before the game. And when you look at someone, I was thinking, it's like the other. It was like when we played. Who did we play in the Europa League last? Was it Anderlecht?
Yeah.
Away.
And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Philippe Albert.
No.
No. Oh, okay.
I was in the concourse before the. Was it the Palace game we played after?
Yeah.
And you know the youngster, what's his name who scored? I can't think of his name now. The youngster that scored for us on his debut.
Yeah.
He was standing in the concourse next to us, and I'm like, hang on, mate. On Thursday night, you're scoring in the Europa League, and now you're not even like, you're just standing like he had jeans and a t-shirt on, and then I clocked him, and then other people started clocking him and started getting photos of him, but I was just like, that's mental. Like,
I think his son plays football. I think his son's a goalkeeper as well, but like might be for Wimbledon or something. I think so. And did he get runner-up in Hammer of the Year that year as well? From memory, he was a decent keeper anyway, nonetheless.
Could have been. I think the reason I was going to say Felipe Albert because the Anderlecht game, he was doing co-commentary, and because obviously we're up in the box, the camera just like went onto him, and I was like, oh my god, that's Felipe Albert, and people went, who? And I went, Felipe Albert, don't you remember him from Newcastle? He was like, I loved him. He was like Belgium. He was a centre back. He could play a bit. Scored a great chip goal, and they were like, "That's not him." Let me show you a picture.
A little moustache, didn't he? The tack.
Look at the stadium now.
Jesus
wow.
they went. How the fuck did you know it was Felipe Albert? I went, I just knew it straight away. Yeah, lips.
He looks like, you know when you read the Nuremberg recorder and someone's been scammed.
yeah. Underneath, John thought the Nigerian businessman was genuine. Yeah.
Right, pointing at the dustman. He ain't had his bins collected for 3 weeks.
or just with a letter pointing. Love it. Come on, X. Let's finish this. Come on, let's finish this.
Let's go for C.
Let's go for C. Okay, here we go.
Karoo.
No, neither of you have got it.
Oh.
Which C
did we sign on loan from Stoke in 2012 and made 11 pips? Is it Collins? Is it Danny Collins? Oh, here we go. Right, here we go. Don't forget, this one's not your one. Right.
Oh, it's big Rust. I see red, mate. I see red.
I see trees are green. Go on, then. What we doing?
I don't know. What can I? Oh,
you can have N for November.
Notts Forest. Forest.
Oh.
There it was, X. There it was.
My first ever away game, that was.
Was it your first ever away game?
First ever away day, and that's what cemented my support, because the support in that game was just unbelievable. If you remember that, Billy Bonds, Billy Bonds, I'm standing there thinking, although we're getting battered 4-0, I'm bloody proud of this club. Yeah, that was.
I think we was at that E13 event with Trevor Morley, and he told a good story, didn't he, about that? And he said the way he turned around to Tony Gow and he just went, "Do you know what, Tone?" He said, "I'm sitting on this stage. I've got FA Cup winners, European Cup winners." He went, "I've never said this before, but you ruined the best day of my life."
Honestly, it was really good. Trevor and Tony were like a really, really good value. Trevor obviously doesn't do a lot of, obviously he's in Norway and he doesn't do a lot. And
a bit quiet, didn't he? But I think Tony Gow eased him into it.
Tony Gow's brilliant. That isn't it? He brings out the best in everyone, I think.
Yeah, and what was good is because they had like different strikers from different eras. So you've got Brian, you got Stag, who's just talks about the fact that he's won, and Bobby Moore and all that type of stuff. And you had Crossy, you had Psycho, and obviously he was just like story after. He's a stand-up comedian, really, isn't he? And Kate was there as well, and then you had Trevor. And what I thought was funny, because obviously Trevor and Crossy were sitting next to each other. Every time someone asked a question and Crossy started a story, Trevor's like, "Oh fucking hell, another fucking story." And Crossy didn't know what to say, bless him. But yeah, no, it was good. It was very funny, and obviously everyone took the asked questions about with Morley about obviously everything that went on. But there were some really funny stories. So where obviously when he came back from being stabbed, Julian basically hid all the knives in the canteen, so everyone was had to eat with a spoon and a fork, and there was no knives everywhere and things like that. And it's just like all those stories. I mean, it's nice to hear that sort of camaraderie. And as I've always said, in 20 years' time, you'll still be seeing Tony Gale and Cotty and people like that, and obviously guys at the West Ham, your events X as well. You're never going to see Sebastian Haller at the Queen's with Felipe Anderson doing an evening, are you? No, and that's the shame about football now, isn't it? You just don't get those characters.
And also, you think if you find that it was same with like what you do if you're a podcaster, that's what we try to do with us. Is getting ex-players on. The more recent they are, obviously, the more money they've earned, the more sort of detached they were from the fans. In a sense, I think it's much harder to get your modern day player on.
We know. Yeah, we know that for sure, don't we? It's very true. It's very true, and I think they're a bit more cagey as well because they've still got. A lot of them are still doing media. They're still doing this. They're still doing that. So fair enough. If you got someone like Machiavelli on or Tony Gale or there's some of the things some of the jokes Tony Gale told at that night. If Sky had heard him, so.
You can listen to it like the older players talk all day about their career, and even like when you sit there and you listen to Brian Deere and he talks about Bobby Moore, and like you're just in awe of thinking, wow, this man like played with Bobby Moore and what he's done for the club. And you're right, current players that retired in the last 10 years, they're not the same. I don't feel most of them are the same.
Although the only exception I think was I was listening to Jack's thing with Mark with Nobes the other day, and I thought it was quite refreshing. It was,
but that'll change when he goes back to the club in January.
That's what I mean. So actually, he got him at the right time. But I thought it was quite refreshing. It was, it was quite funny, and every word that came out of his mouth was fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's the Canning Town in him, Russ.
It's the Canning Town in it. That's it, isn't it? Canning Town boy. But no, it's.
He was brilliant. It was a brilliant interview. Great podcast.
He was, and Jack's going on tour. He's taking his podcast on tour next year. It should be good. Good luck to him.
Well, isn't he really well?
Fantastic, top boy.
He's a really nice bloke, Jack.
Yeah. Very genuine, and so is his dad as well. His dad's lovely.
Yeah.
Really nice. But it's like I think they're all they're all nice. I think they as you said, you were saying just before starting X, in terms of you get trolls and then and everyone think like that, and but. Most people are just genuinely nice people anyway. It's just people see what they want to see, don't they, out of people? And same as footballers, same as everything else, really, isn't it?
I always find with the trolls, it's always people on Twitter. The amount of people that, like, we get, like, stuff sometimes. But when you meet people at the grounds and wherever, and the thing that bugs me is when people think that we're all rivals, that I don't like. I mean, last time I see X, him and Dave were slipping off for a little Chinese at Southampton away.
And you were slipping off to Mexico for a wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do you know what, Rush? You could have done this 2 weeks ago when I had a tan.
Yeah, the tan. You look sun-kissed. I should have done it after I come back from Orlando. I'd have been red like a beetroot. Been like this top. Tower. Yeah, you did. You had a real glow about you. And Nick, he had a bit of a glow about him as well. That's because he's just got married, isn't it? That more than anything. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. I think it's funny, Nick. Everyone thinks it's it's a bit weird. It's a bit strange. But that's why I like doing these things because we all just like get on with each other. We all help each other out and stuff, and it's but it's all about the food banks. The food banks are winners. That's what it is. It's all about the food banks, and it's like I think we're on about £5,000, 5,000. 200 quid, 100 quid, something like that at the moment. So, we want to try and get up to 10 grand. There is a sizable donation from Mr. Sullivan in there, but it doesn't. But fair play, fair play. But yeah, so anything you can do, guys. We're gonna do the Fabianski draw at the end of the week. So as I said, payday. Someone messaged me today and said, "Oh, I don't get paid," and they're a really big Lucas Fabianski fan. I was like, well. We'll keep it for another couple of days. Might as well get a bit more money in for the food banks and stuff. But we'll do another one maybe in a couple of weeks' time before I go on holiday. Just because it's a bit of a shitter, and it's like one of the consequences of the whole no football for 6 weeks. Things like John Ritomsky and the food banks, they can't do any. I mean, you can't go and watch West Ham, but they make 300-400 quid at a game. Bucket shaking, and they can't do it at the moment, which is a real shame, obviously. And just when the food banks is really needed, innit? With Christmas and kids off, and people not putting their heating on and shit like that as well. And yeah, bit of a shitty timing, but
it makes you think that you don't realise how lucky you are. Sometimes.
definitely, yeah, definitely, man, definitely. It's very, very true, very, very true, man.
Mate, it's a pleasure to be involved as always.
Absolute pleasure as always. Absolute pleasure. We'll go back to Wheel of Fortune next time, Ryan. Don't worry.
The best thing to do is to put pins on, like that picture you showed of Philip Albert. I'd have had no idea.
Yeah, who is this player?
Exactly. Do that, and I'll be useless.
But you'll be there but we'll be there all night. Come on, play for Newcastle. He's Belgium. His first name's Philippe. Yeah. Hey, Albert, very good. No Friday night pint tomorrow, will there be, with the football?
No, well, there will be a lot of Friday night pints, but there'll be me down the pub watching England.
Fair enough.
My World Cup starts tomorrow.
Does it?
Down the pub,
That's it.
I had to watch it in work. It's the first time I've ever watched England in a major tournament at work.
At work. I remember. I think when did we last? I remember playing Wales. Was it not the last? Was it the Euro? Was it? Did we play Wales? Was it 2016? Right. And I had a meeting. I was in Atlanta, and we had a meeting and I booked it for 11 o'clock Atlanta time, and so we watched it at 8 o'clock in the morning in some random sports bar in Atlanta, heaving full of expats, and it was the most bizarre thing I've ever done in my life. But yeah, no, it's that's the only other time I've watched England.
I watched that game in Riley's sports bar in Leicester Square, and I lost my shoe.
I've heard of loose.
When Sturridge scored the winner, right, I fell on the floor, and my mates decided to jump on me to do a bundle. Then all these other random blokes just started jumping on me, and then my shoe come off, and I see some geezer pick it up and go, "Whee!" and just run it.
Where are we gonna go? I've got to hop on my way home.
The mad thing is, because Graham was there as well. It was about an hour after the game. I was all drunk and that, and it all started clearing out, and I just looked, and in the middle of the dance floor was my trainer, and I was just it was reunited. It was like the scene from Dirty Dancing. It just
Officer and gentleman, yeah, exactly. That happened once with me and a flip flop. There we go. Same thing happened on a beach.
We were so I was like, we were so
I got
as well.
Oh dear. But I tell you the other time I watched England in the morning, or it might be in the morning, was when we played in the World Cup in Japan.
Oh,
yeah.
Would have watched that. That was at uni.
I was at uni then as well. And
yeah, me too.
Just went out till 3 or 4 in the morning, just carried on until whenever the game was, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was during it. I think we had exams as well that time as well, which didn't really help.
We were talking about this the other day, because remember when we beat Denmark 3-0 in the quarter? Was it the last round of 16 or something like that?
Yeah.
We beat Denmark, and me and Nicky, we was only young at the time. We got so drunk. Do you remember the old Stratford shopping centre?
Yes.
Remember the in shops at the back? You used to have that dodgy tattoo shop.
Yeah, dodgy game shops.
Nicky went in there and ended up getting a St George flag tattooed on his chest, which he's still got now. Which, honestly, it looked. But the memories of that, I'll never forget that.
No, good fun. No, that's what football's about, though, isn't it? That's what we say. I say it all the time. It's about memories. It's about, as you said, it's about. It's not necessarily about. It's never been about the results for us, really, until the last couple of years, to be fair. But it is about the memories. It is about, as you said, getting tattooed or seeing each other for a Chinese before we go to Southampton away and stuff, innit? It's not about... That's what gets my goat sometimes. But anyway, that's just me.
We
that's
love
just
it.
me.
Look, we've been spoiled the last 2 years. We've got
now.
We love it.
It's like some people like decompressed. They're like, it's almost like I had an altitude sickness. Being so high up in the leagues. Like, that's better. It's cooler down here. It's cooler down here, honestly. But yeah,
we wouldn't swap it for anything in the world.
We wouldn't at all. X, what you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
We interviewed Matthew Upson this week, and the podcast will go out tomorrow. Which
Nice.
Was really, really interesting, because obviously he can talk about his time at West Ham. He was really, really open about the time under Avram Grant as well, really open. And then he talks about obviously playing for England and what it was like under Capello and things like that. That was a really, really interesting podcast. So that's out tomorrow. So that's really worth listening to.
Because he did a little bit of coaching. Was it last season or the season before at West Ham, wasn't it? Because I saw him in the stands.
Rice's one-to-one mentor.
How interesting.
And he talked about that on the podcast as well, how he was assigned to Declan and he worked on his sort of positioning and his movement and things like that. So yeah, it's really interesting because obviously he can talk about the West Ham under Grant, which was interesting stuff when we sold Ferdinand under Kerbishley. You know, he was very, very honest. And usually when you do these interviews, particularly with guys that are in the media, because he's out in the World Cup now, they usually reserved. But he was actually very honest. So yeah, that was good. And then just continue to do that. I mean, I'm actually trying to avoid West Ham news. Hence why I was a bit slow on the Zoom and stuff, because I'm literally having a break from it. Like, I don't have to do team news. I don't have to do transfers. This is the first time in like 12 years that I'm not checking my phone like every bloody minute, pretty much. So enjoying the break and just concentrating on England. So, yeah.
I could just imagine you've got a mouthful of Chinese. What? Kurt Zuma? Oh, fucking hell.
It was a bit
I
like
was
that.
Enjoy it, mate, because January's not far off.
No, exactly.
And it started already. It started already, innit? It's starting already, man. Particularly with the...
With
Cool,
Declan
mate.
Rice, with the stuff with Declan Rice, like, you know,
Yeah.
that blew up overnight, didn't it? I think because that's the thing, because there's no West Ham news at the moment. Any bit of news there is just goes huge.
Yeah, it's almost like people. Again, it's that sort of yin and yang thing. People hate all the transfer rumours and all the news, but then it's like a vacuum. There's like nothing at the moment. So it's like anything is being exasperated. That's a long word. It's been exasperated. I'll use it again. And it's almost, you said, like it's been quadrupled, tripled, 10 times where it was before. I mean, there's no difference to what it was 6 months ago, what it was a year ago. Conversations I've had, the same thing. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. It's just, it's just a bit 6 months further down the line. But people get a bit overexcited, don't they, with things? But yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting January. I'll say that. I think it's gonna be interesting.
I don't think we'll actually do that much. It depends on whether anyone leaves or not, but maybe a right back. But I don't think we'll spend much in January because we can't. We spent so much in the summer. Yeah,
and also the precarious sort of position we're in as well, isn't it? It's like you think, it's like summer's slightly different to where we are in now. It's sort of and I think. I think right back. I could see a right back coming in. See, we seem to be already linked to about 10 right backs already, so it's like it's what it is. But anyway, guys,
I think Ashby's good enough to play now.
It's a shame, isn't it, with the whole Ashby thing. I just don't. But it seems we do seem to do that every sort of. I mean, last year Ben Johnson, really, he didn't. We had to exercise the contract extension, didn't we? So
I think Club's been burnt by Reece Oxford. I hate to say it all these years on, but you think because we gave him that $20,000 a week contract after 3 games, whatever it was, and then he massively deteriorated. I think you look at Sonny Perkins, Jeremy, and Gakia, and now Ashby. They know that they can get sort of fringe first team wages at other clubs, whereas because of what happened with Oxford, we're still offering academy style wages. So they think, well, rather than take, say, $3,000 at West Ham, I'm going to go and take 15 or 20 at somewhere else. So.
Yeah, and I suppose with someone like Sonny Perkins, who's starting to get a little bit, isn't he? I mean, he made his first team the other day, or was it the Cup game? He made his first team debut or something like that. So yeah, and it's almost like now, as you said, there's sort of this lauded Red Bull model, and you see some of the players we're looking at, some players, particularly the Brazilian connection as well, the Brazilian network. It looks like a lot of players we linked with are 20. So, you're thinking, well, whose place are they going to take? And like the academy of everything, with obviously Kenny taking over now, and it's it needs I don't know what's going to happen. We're all waiting for Mark Noble to stroll in on the 2nd of January and just sort it all out, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like the return of the Messiah, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, he's just a very naughty boy. Although I thought it was quite interesting when he was sitting on the bench for the last game, weren't he? He sat in the dugout for the Leicester game, rather than the director's box.
Involved already, apparently. The appointment of Kenny Brown as academy manager, which is a great appointment, by the way. But that was all done by Noble. Apparently, the recruitment meetings have already been started by him. So I think his role is going to be massive.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's going to be central. I mean, you look at all the facets that the press release said he was going to be involved in. He literally is all through Mark Noble. Everything. It's the academy, it's the recruitment, it's the player staff relations as well. You know, he's literally got about 5 or 6 different hats he's wearing. It's a massive job, huge job. And I think, but then again, I watch, if you watch the Arsenal All or Nothing on Amazon, look how much Edu does compared to Arteta. Arteta's very rarely involved in any discussions about contracts, transfers. It's all Edu, and he's their sporting director, and obviously that's the role.
With Noble as well, especially for new signings coming in, is he will sell the football club.
Yeah.
And I think Noble will know if they're going to be good for the club or not. So
and it's what we've been crying out for a long time, isn't it? Sort of a fan. Because by all account, but and when all is said and done, he's a West Ham fan. I mean, on Jack's podcast, he's spoken about West Ham every day since he was 11 years old. Same as we all have, but he's lived and breathed it. So it's having someone with those intentions. He didn't have to. He's a multi-millionaire. He's doing his property development company are doing very well. He doesn't have to do it, but he does it for the love of the game, love of the club. So. That's the way I see it. Yeah, he's getting paid, but he doesn't need the money. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Right, I said I'll be an hour, and we've been 50 minutes. That'll do, guys. Thank you very, very much for your time, gentlemen. Absolute pleasure as always. And I'll catch up with you very, very soon, both of you. Very, very soon. And enjoy the. Well done, X. Well done.
No, well done to you. Food, as you say, the cause is all for the food banks. Doesn't matter who won or not. Just people donate to a really good cause this winter. And as you said, there's people very needing of it this time of year. So always willing, happy to take part in anything that can help with that sort of stuff. So thank you.
Good man. Absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. The voice from above. All right, man. See you later. I'm going to kick you out, so don't worry. I'll kick you both out. See ya. Bye, Ryan. Bye, Ryan. Bye, X. Bye, X. Bye. I'll kick you out. I can only kick one person at a time. Yes, people. So, as X said, yeah, it's a time which is very, very, very tough for a lot of families. Particularly people deciding whether to have something to eat or put the heating on. So if anything we can do, and I appreciate everyone's money is tight at the moment, but rather than having a big latte, have a little one next tomorrow and put a couple of quid in for the food banks. It'll make a massive difference. You do not realise how much difference it all makes. John, who's in the chat, the amount of work John and his team do is phenomenal. The food banks have a great deal with a church organisation where we transfer a small amount of money and get a large amount of food as a pallet. It's incredible. So a small bit of money can make a huge difference to a lot of people in the Newham Borough, and not just that. Things like clothing and all that type of stuff. John, we do lots of great partners. Umbro provide a lot of stuff, and various others as well. So, and also, with Christmas, we try and get the kids a selection box, or get some chocolate snowmen and chocolate for other Christmases and stuff for the kids, because it's not their fault that they have to use food banks and stuff like that. So. All that stuff is very, very timely and needed. If you want to find out more, go to ironsfoodbanks.co.uk. The link's been there all day. We'll be punting it the next few days. Please, if you can donate, it'd be very, 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 very gratefully received. And we will we'll probably do a live draw on Twitter or something like that on Sunday or even maybe Monday, to give you the full weekend to, because it's a good prize, it's a good prize. So yeah, John says, every £400 we collect buys £200 worth of food. So we're delivering now a pallet a week. So it's an amazing, and it's not a little pallet; it's a fucking huge pallet. So we're about £5,000 at the moment. So you could equate that to, you could get an idea of how much that would be. He says, so it's basically times 5, isn't it? So £5,000 could be £25,000 off of food, or as a rough rule of thumb. But as I said, please, if you can, I really appreciate it. I don't like to be beggy, but that's why we do these things. That's why X gives up his time. That's why Ryan gives up his time to sort of help publicise the food banks, particularly this time when there's no games on. There's no West Ham on at all, which isn't a bad thing, but for our sanity, but it's not great for the food banks. And that's it, friends. So, as I said, take care, stay safe, keep your eyes on everything, on all the channels, obviously Ryan and West Ham Fan TV, and obviously X mentioned Matt Upson. That'd be a good interview. And yeah, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, and I'll see you guys very, 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 very soon. If you're new around here, give it a subscribe if you fancy it. Like, comment, share, all that type of stuff. We've got lots of guys who support the channel as well, which we really, really appreciate. And yeah, take care, stay safe. We'll play just a little members video to say thank you to our members. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of